Welcome to Traffic Jam. My name is Leroy, and I'm gonna get right to it. It's been the longest weekend I had all year. Hope everybody had a good weekend, and the end this July on a good note. Just hope everybody has a good one as well. I'm just gonna talk about today. And SummerSlam 2026 is in Minnesota. Well, I would say Minneapolis, Minnesota. This week, this is SummerSlam week. I could talk about AEW Redemption. I didn't watch it, so I am disqualified from AEW for this, but you get the idea. It's I had to unsubscribe that show as it is. This is gonna be about WWE SummerSlam today. And I'm gonna tell you why that SummerSlam's in survivor. Well, I would say SummerSlam is in survival mode right now. Now tonight on Raw on Netflix, they're gonna have this, like to say, this face off with one of the opponents, and then on SmackDown before night one and night two. And I'm just gonna give you my observation about this whole show. So SummerSlam does not feel the same anymore like it used to be. Now, the best one that I ever seen in my years of watching SummerSlam was in 2002, and I mean that's pretty much the one I ever watched was with Triple H versus HBK in that match, and then The Rock versus the Brock Lesnar and all that. I mean, Rey Mysterio versus Curry Young. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, that was a stacked freaking roster and a stack up match. That I think that was like the best SummerSlam that I ever seen. I mean, if anybody wants to debate me on the other SummerSlams, hey, go ahead. I would say 2002 was the best one because that's the one I watched the most out of all the SummerSlams I watched. And this one right here does not feel the same like it used to be. Now, I could go over the matches that they have right now. Now, they haven't announced what's going to be on night one, night two, but I'm just going to give you the match right now that they currently have, which that is they have officially announced as of today. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Over Family for the Hell in a Cell. Liv Morgan versus Elo Scott for Women's World Champion. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green, which that is my fate to watch. Charlotte Flair, and they'll announce that for more who because they gotta extend the for the ladders match for the interim WWE Women's Championship, which I don't understand why they say interim. Penta versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin for the United States Championship, which they should add Carmelo Hayes. If you ever acquainted, Baron Corbin did talk to Korea and say, hey, we need to add Carmelo Hayes in it. He deserves it. He has earned his stripes, but well, you get the idea. I mean, he did say that. And then Gunther versus Nick Aldis, which that's gonna be I think that's gonna be one of the underrated matches of that either night one or night two. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys versus the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso, and Jay Uso. The Bella Twins and Paige versus Flair and Influence for the six-man tag team match, which they're not putting the titles on the line. And Dominic versus Danhausen. That's a comedian act, and I just wish Dirty Dom could go to AAA to be a star. I think once it's over with, he needs to go to AAA. And then Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor for the number one contender for the Undisputed Championship. Number one contender, man. That's the matches that they have so far. Now, what's wrong with these matches? Now, there are some matches that I'm looking for. Now, I did say about Brock Lesnar versus Open for the Hell in Cell. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. And then also, I think that's it, man. I know everybody's gonna say the top matches is Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes are lackluster. You know what, man? And that's why I have a problem with these matches. It's not the wrestlers that's on the roster. It's just that we've seen these guys before, man. These sugar rush matches that they have, man. And the way they built these storylines, which that's what they lack, and I'm talking about in creative, has been poorly booked to get where they need is today. And it's sad that SummerSlam does not feel the same like it used to. I could talk about last year's with Cardi B and the rest of them. I was not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Cardi B. I mean, everybody loves Cardi B, but I'm not a fan of her because I watched Love and Hip Hop and all that. I seen enough for her. You get the idea. She was in love with hip hop before she became who she is today. If everybody doesn't believe it, go watch that, man. Just do it, and you'll see where she was back then and where she is today. I'm not a fan of her. I'm just not, but you get the idea. So SummerSlam, it just doesn't feel the same anymore. It just doesn't. And I did discuss about 2002 was the last good SummerSlam show. And you know what? Back in those days, they didn't have a night one and night two. They had all the matches that they have in one freaking night. And that's what I have a problem with these PLEs is they have night one and night two of all things, man. Of all this. And it's just that they lack the depth of it, man. Now, I'm just gonna say this right now. Why there's no women's United States Championship? Are they gonna defend? Well, they will announce it, man. But where's that at? Where's the tag team championship? Are the Vision gonna defend it on some? Maybe they'll announce that tonight. I mean, what about the other tag team that's on SmackDown with I'm sorry, R-Truth versus Damian Priest? Are they gonna defend it too? Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like, where are these championships? I thought championships are supposed to be defended at pay-per-view. It's just like they have it every now and then, man. And that's where they're lacking at as it is. And they gotta pay this off, man. And I know they may, and the only payoff that I can see with this match, what they mostly talk about is Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi in the Hell in a Cell match. And Gunther versus Nick Aldis, that's interesting. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just the look of things, man. And it's sad that SummerSlam and WWE, and I'm going to talk about WWE right now, is having people making decisions where they do audibles every now and then, man. Just because they make so much money, man, that doesn't mean you have to put a you know what out there. When I mean a SHIT product. And it's hard to follow the show as it is, man. And I could talk about Unreal. If everybody watched this, the docu-series of season 3 and the whole series should tell you everything you know what's happening in WWE, man. Whether it's a work or shoot, regardless of what it is, man, they should have never put, and I've been saying this, they should have never put that out. And now you get more people contact to talk about how on the other side that how great this show is, and then the other side say how poorly this show is, man. And it's just that I just don't have no quality matches that I mean Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar is Hell in a Cell. I mean, I could see it as a main event. Now they may not put it in the main event. I heard that they may put it as the first match, either night 1 or night 2, man. And this is my theory, and I've been saying this, that Brock Lesnar does not want to be at that show. He can walk down the freaking street from his ranch and just go away, man. And like I said, he's smart with his money. And if you see his ranch, man, he's smart with his money, man. It really is. And I just don't feel the same with this show, man. And they got to pay this off as it is, man. Now, I do see they saying now they lower the ticket prices at $25. I mean, that's cool and all, man. But you got to understand, man, you're paying for $25 for a ticket. Okay, that's cool. But you got to understand, you got to pay for parking. You got to pay for the food. You got to pay for the hotel. If you have to live there, you got to pay for gas. You got to pay for your family. Dude, that's like at least $500 to $1,000 you're spending one day. If you want to do night 2, that's probably another $500 to $1,000, man. And people these days, man, and the recession is at an all-time high as it is because people don't have that money like that. And I always say this, the fans that you get, the only fans you're going to get is the lowest common denominator. And that's the fans you're going to get, man. That's the reality of this product as it is. Because once you get those fans, man, and you lose those fans, it's hard to get them back. And I'm just going by what Vince Russo, as it says. Once you lose those fans, it's hard to get them back. And it's just that it's in survival mode as it is. Um, with SummerSlam around this week, man, they're doing these audibles, and I know they're gonna do these face off tonight. That's gonna be a freaking classic, you know what? And it's gonna look good on picture, on picture, man. And I understand they do, and I will give WWE credit for this. They do look like it does look like a cinema. You know what on the show, man. But just don't believe the hype for what it is, man. And just because I look things at analytically as it is and how they show themselves on the show, which is the wrestler. And I always say this, it's not the wrestler's fault that they put themselves out there. It's just that they don't give them enough meat on the bone, but they just get bone on there without meat. And without that, man, and everything else, it's just a lackluster show, man. And I know why after watching this show, it probably be like, okay, this was a good match, which they do put decent matches, man. But that's it. It's just like they become like AEW. And I could talk about AEW's redemption, man. But like I said, I disqualified myself because I didn't watch. I only watched the clips. But it's just like they're copying, and I know people are gonna hate this. It's like they're copying the AEW's matches on their show. It's just they put much effort on the match than they do with their character. Why we care? Why should we care, man? And I've been saying this, man. I will do a breakdown with each match and how they bring out like one by one. I'm probably gonna do that this week. Break it down each match and how this is gonna turn out. I know it's a long stint of things, but it just doesn't feel the same anymore. Like yesteryears of, like I said, in 2002, that was the only good SummerSlam match. I know may miss a lot of that, but that's probably the one I watched on a pay-per-view back in the day was the best SummerSlam I ever watched, probably ever. And this year it just feels like lackluster as it is. But we just have to see, man. We just do. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. SummerSlam's in survivor mode. Now, everybody thinks like this ticket prices is not like it used to be. Now, they have lowered the ticket price at $25, but still, at the end of the day, man, it's just who's on the card and who's going to perform, man. And I say this, they got to pay this off, which they got to pay off night one and night two, man. And it looks like it could go up to like the ticket prices, $25. I mean, yes, that's cool, but you gotta look at other venues, man. And out of that, the parking, the vendor, the food vendor, everything else, man, and have the tickets. If people are gonna fly down, you gotta look at the tickets as it is, man, because you gotta book these shows as it is. Now, the only thing I could say about WWE that they're doing house shows now. I'm glad they're doing that. Now, everybody think that is the bad thing, but I'm glad they're bringing the house shows back as it is. But you don't know if they're gonna stop it in here and there, man. Yeah, man. SummerSlam is in survivor mode. It just is. I'm just gonna be honest with this whole thing. And I just wish they could just. I mean, they still gonna continue to do this because Money in the Bank is like in October. I don't know what's the next pay per view in September. Are they going to have another PLE or something like that, or another Saturday Night main event? Probably, but Money in Bank is going to be a wild card event because it's going to determine who's going to be the Money in the Bank, and I will make a video about that once they announce who's going to be on. Well, they're going to have a qualifier and see who's matched. Now, only the people I want to see. Okay, just to it'll be continuing back that, but you get the idea. Yeah, man. SummerSlam is this week. It's gonna be a long ride for me to watch these shows, man. Um, yeah, it's gonna be the longest, and I know the longest week was last week, but this is probably for the end this July, man. And going into August, it's gonna be the longest week ever, and probably in my life, man. Just to watch these shows and understanding these matches, man. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a good day, and hope you have a